We've always dreamed about having a flying car, and here it is.
The idea of combining the automobile with the airplane is no longer a fantasy.
What do you think of that, huh?
I gotta tell you something, that's pretty cool.
Celebrated by news media around the world as the modern-day flying car, the Transition represents a safer and more practical approach to personal air travel.
Aircraft have looked essentially the same for the past 50 years. Transition really is the next step in the evolution of aircraft.
The Transition can convert between flying and driving almost instantly. You just get in the cockpit, push a couple buttons, and the wings fold up.
That was great.
The Transition flies like a really nice airplane. I've flown 20 to 30 different airplanes in my career, and the Transition is by far the easiest airplane to land. It's smooth, controllable, and very stable.
With all the data we collected from the proof of concept aircraft, in combination with these sophisticated design and performance modeling tools, we've been able to really optimize the design of the next generation Transition. The beauty of this design is really how simple it is. With four-wheel independent suspension, a wide track, a long wheelbase, and a relatively low center of gravity to provide really good stability and handling when you're driving on the road.
On the highway or in the skyway, the Transition uses the 100 horsepower Rotax 912S engine. This single engine powers either the propeller in the air or the wheels on the ground through a continuously variable transmission. A balanced weight distribution and an aerodynamic downforce provide a stable and smooth ride on the ground. And a custom-designed airfoil maintains flight performance while allowing the wing to fold for driving.
The control panels are designed to be intuitive and easy to use with touchscreen interfaces. There's also just one GPS navigation system that combines both your road maps and your aviation charts.
The Transition is fueled by super unleaded gas, which is cheaper and more environmentally friendly than aviation fuel. While efficiency and comfort are always important, safety takes center stage in the vehicle's design. Key features include pilot and passenger airbags, crumple zones, and a safety cage.
The Transition is the first aircraft to ever bring this sort of safety technology to the aviation industry.
As a result, the Transition was granted a special weight exemption by the FAA.
The weight exemption is really significant. It allows us to add the safety features that cars have without compromising the useful load of an airplane.
The Hoverbike is the result of years of research and development. We combined the freedom of a helicopter with the simplicity of a motorcycle to create the world's first hoverbike. Developing a hoverbike is expensive and challenging, and we need your support to make this a reality. The hoverbike flies like a helicopter, however it is rugged and easy to use. It represents a whole new way to fly.
We created a 1/3 scale hoverbike drone to test a new quad aerodynamic concept.
Our drone will allow you to see and feel just how it will be to fly the full-scale hoverbike, and will help with raising the funds needed to bring the hoverbike to market.
We have moved to a proven quadcopter design, and this is what our second generation hoverbike looks like. Drones should be friendly and approachable. Our drone has ducts around the propellers that protect bystanders from the blade tips and allows us to safely operate near the vehicle. We designed a large payload bay that can be easily adapted for different uses, a real multi-purpose tool. We felt it important to keep drones fun, safe and accessible to as many people as possible.
Unlike other multicopters, ours packs down to a third of its size and be easily transported in our custom multi-use bag.
We don't think the world has seen yet just how useful drones of all shapes and sizes can actually be. The ducks come embedded with LED lights for brilliant nighttime flying. We and our large community of supporters around the world are really passionate about the idea of cheap, safe, airborne transportation.
With your help to back this project, we can continue to develop the world's first flying motorbike. With your help, we can take another small step in the evolution of flight.
Tomorrow is what we'll all be doing, and this house shows you what to expect with its fun and fast-paced demonstration of technology that's only 5 years from the market.
How cool would it be to have a house where you can control everything out of your bed? Never have to make a grocery list again, or lose your keys, or have the coolest gadgets in your own place. Today I'm in Brussels at Living Tomorrow, and I'm able to experience the house of the future.
70 innovative companies contributed their visions of what we can expect in the near future. The kitchen is often the heart of the house. At least that's where I spend most of my time. The Living Tomorrow kitchen looks very futuristic, but it's designed to have all the comfort and functionality of what you'd expect in a modern kitchen. You'll find everything you need in this kitchen: a built-in LED TV, a music player, and of course every other piece of equipment you need to have for cooking. You can even set the mood for yourself, so if you're longing for a romantic evening with your loved one, a nice bottle of wine, well, all you do is you simply press the touchscreen button on the smartboard and your favourite music will play, the lights will go down, and then it's just time to sit back and relax. If you were to notice that you're running out of wine, you can, for instance, add red wine to your grocery list on the smartboard. The smartboard helps you with your everyday chores. It's there to make life easier. I don't know what Suzanne is planning, but that looks like an awful lot of wine for just one night. I hope there's not a party going on that I'm not invited to. And say, for example, you want to learn more about the wine that you're drinking. Well, you simply drag the wine icon to the television box and a movie will start explaining all there is to know about your wine. Paying bills in the future will also be easier as well. All you got to do is press your finger down onto the button and the smartboard will screen your personal fingerprint. Hey presto, all done and paid for. You can observe every corner of your house with the built-in cameras. It gives you a rather safe feeling, but on the other side, it's kind of voyeuristic too. So now we know what happens to privacy in the near future. We know, Suzanne, you like your showers hot. So while that's heating up, she can start brushing her teeth in front of the intelligent mirror. Now on this mirror, you can look at the news to see what's happening in the world, you can listen to your favourite songs, or you can even see what the weather's going to be like today. You can even work on your tan and at the same time warm your towel on the very modern looking towel heater. This house really is all about comfortable living. The entire house works via home automation. Every electrical appliance or apparatus you have in your home is controlled by one easy-to-use system. It's all about living more efficiently and at the same time being a bit more environmentally friendly. The entire house of tomorrow is equipped with the most high-tech and coolest gadgets around. I mean, a lot of them aren't even out in the shops yet. In this house, you can control everything by touchscreen. You literally have everything at your fingertips. Now that's what I call easy living.
In history, we see a very clear pattern of machine automation slowly replacing human labor. From the disappearance of the elevator man to the near full automation of an automobile production plant, the fact is, as technology grows, the need for humans in the workforce will continually be diminished. For human employment is in direct competition with technological development.
He takes on the machine, instead of shortening the workday, they downsize. You lose your job. So you have a right to fear machines.
And through time, with nanotechnology and other highly advanced forms of science, it is not far-fetched to see how even complex medical procedures could be performed by machines as well. And based on the pattern, with much higher success rates than humans get today.
A pioneer in the field of healthcare technology, Dr. Catherine Moore is helping advance the rapidly emerging field of minimally invasive robotic surgery.
People think robots and they think it's like some science fiction robot that's actually doing the surgery, but really it's more a telemanipulator. It allows you to do more complicated surgeries than you would be able to do either laparoscopically or arthroscopically through very small instruments that you can place through a small incision in the body, but be able to do everything that you'd be able to do if you had a large open incision. So the surgeon is still doing the surgery, but the robot is providing the surrogate hands and surrogate eyes for that surgeon that just happen to be down inside the patient. Look at it in cancer therapy, doing this kind of surgery is actually much more cost effective than, say, radiation therapy.
So when you're looking at the next generation of robotics, what's your vision of the role that they'll play in our healthcare landscape in 5, 10, 20 years?
Well, I would say that we will probably have more purpose-built surgical robots that will work in the eye, will work in the joints. I also start to see robotics as extenders of care. I think whenever you've got a person to be there, that personal touch is going to be much better. But if there's a person that can come by once a day and check in on somebody and make sure that they're doing all right, and the rest of the time the robot can keep an eye on them, remind them to take their meds, monitor if they're not doing so well, kind of the equivalent of the twice-a-day phone call from the concerned child. We see robotics with telepresence, where a physician can go and talk to a patient and be able to do a physical examination on a patient without actually physically being there.
I want to talk a little bit about robots and human behavior. The major difference between cybernetic organisms and human systems. A lot of people think that programming is exactly the same in people and robotics. It is not. The major difference is that you can design a robot to walk over, pick up an object, put it in another place. But the robot, before it even moves, if you put the object in the place the robot was going to put it in, it would still walk over and grab nothing in particular. Do you understand that? That's programmed. The difference between human systems and robots, it's not linear. That means that the robot can do certain things that you program into it. And if you look at that under a microscope, you can see magnetic domains that'll make the robot walk over to a given area and sit in a chair. If you pull a chair away, the robot will walk over and sit on nothing and fall over. It's only when a human touches something and they feel good touching it that they repeat it. A robot cannot touch something and say, hey, that feels good. They can reach out, do that, and pull back. but they can't make anything of it. Do you understand that? The reason I say, do you understand that, is because there's so much conflict today about robots and people. Will robots take over? Not if they're programmed not to take over. If they're programmed to take over, they can only shoot a guy in a certain uniform. And if the guy stays put in a given area, the robot can walk over. Unless you condition a robot through the eyes to follow anything that moves and shoot it. Is a robot an assassin? No. It's programmed to shoot. That's quite different. Human beings have, some people believe, 10 to 15 billion neurons. A robot has hundreds of thousands of associates, not billions. So if you learn that a cup gives you water, anything that looks like a cup might support water. We can deviate from our programming. Our programming appears rigid, but alongside of it is associative memory. That I touched that and I felt pain. I touched the other thing and I didn't feel pain. I got something. A robot never looks at a thing and says, that's interesting. If you were to float midair in front of a robot, would say, hey, now that is interesting. It can't do that. It can only do what it's programmed.
ヒューマノイドロボットって人間と同じ形をしてるんで、将来ですね、近い将来ですね、家庭の中にヒューマノイド型のロボットが入ってですね、マイカーみたいにですね、皆さんの家庭に入っていろいろなお手伝いをするっていう時代が来ると思うんですね。
Hello, everybody. My name is Chihira Aiko. Welcome to the Toshiba exhibition booth. Let me introduce myself. I was first conceived of on an SNS-based business idea communication system used by Toshiba Group employees. The first part of my name, Chihira, means earth and peace in Japanese. The latter part is taken from the first syllables of ideal communication. I am 32 years old, although technically I was born in September 2014. My standing height is 5 feet and 5 inches. My movements are controlled by pneumatics. There are a total of 43 actuators controlling my facial, body, and shoulders. These allow me to move fluidly like a human. I contain the DNA of Toshiba's founder, Hisashige Tanaka, who aspired to bring awe and wonder to people. My goal is to achieve truly inspirational communications. Communications that merge facial expressions, gestures, and a sense of presence without relying on words or letters. I can show my feelings, such as irritation or sadness. I can cry, and I can smile. Look how expressive I am. In the future, I hope to take up the challenge of a wide assortment of jobs. Perhaps a multilingual receptionist, counselor, newscaster, cheerleader, entertainer, or many others. I will be very happy if people communicating with me feel comforted. Thank you for your attention. Enjoy Toshiba booth. See you again.